Hello friends, welcome to lr.com. My name is Vikas Munjal. When you install SQL Server setup on a machine, we say we have installed an instance on the machine. If we install SQL Server setup again on the same machine, then another instance will be installed on that machine. I will explain with images and diagram what is an instance and why do we need multiple instances in SQL Server. So instance, a copy of SQL Server. A copy. Suppose you have a single machine. You first time go to the setup and install SQL Server. So what will happen when you install SQL Server? A copy will be created, which is engine is installed or SQL Server is installed first time when you install. Now on the same machine, you again go to the setup and you again install SQL Server 2 times. So first time you installed it, no problem. Second time you again installed. So this is called another instance. This is another service and this is another service. That is altogether different SQL Server and this is different SQL Server. The data which is here and the data which is here, they are unrelated with each other. Okay, maybe you can install many setups. You again install setup, another instance 3 on the same machine. I'm not talking about the different machines, I'm talking about the same computer, same machine. Okay, now why do we need multiple instances? Suppose now you have purchased some third-party application. Okay, now what happens? Suppose you have SQL Server. This is SQL Server, suppose. And you have multiple databases. DB1, DB2. Let's say this you have many databases, but this database is very highly used. Now what happens? Because this is very frequently used, this consumes a lot of RAM and CPU. And other databases are struggling, suppose. Or maybe they are okay because they are less frequently used. Most frequently used is this database. So we are not facing any problem. But now third party guy is saying, I need at least, let's say 10 GB of RAM. And I need 4 cores. They have given a specification. Now there is no option within a database you can do that. Like this database separate CPU, this database separate this CPU, this database is that much RAM and that much CPU. Like I can't do this database 1 GB RAM, this database 4 GB RAM, this database 10 GB RAM. I can't do that. And 2 cores for this, 4 cores I can't do. So for that what I have to do, I have to install another copy on the same machine. And at the instance level I can do these settings. Okay, I can say suppose I have 32 GB of memory in my server, so I may give 16 GB to that or 10 GB to that. And I can give 4 cores to this and maybe or 4 cores to this. 4 cores to this, 4 cores to this. So in that way you can handle these third-party application requirement easily, because otherwise they would say that it is not our guarantee if you put that database, third-party application database within the same instance, within the same server. Because this DB is highly used, all the RAM will be consumed by this and this. So maybe this application will run slow. So to satisfy these kind of conditions we will need that. It will be on the same machine, because if you put it on the another machine, you have to purchase window license. One of the reasons I told you, it was third-party tools. And because you cannot configure RAM settings and CPU settings of the SQL Server. Another need for multiple instances is when you need SQL Server for multiple languages. For example, there is a database or there are multiple databases which are dependent on Chinese language. Okay, so what you do, you do the language setting to Chinese of the whole instance. So so all the databases can store the Chinese data, which is separate from the English data. Two instances, one is for Chinese data and another one is for the English data. And another thing is version management. For example, you want to upgrade. You were earlier using 2008. Now you want to upgrade to 2014. But what happened? There was a third-party application you were using, and they are saying we can guarantee for 2008, but we don't guarantee our third-party tool will work fine if you will use 2014 version. So what you can do, you put your third-party application in 2008. Don't touch it. So there will be an instance which will be for 2008. And what you will do for 2014, you will upgrade the instance. Because the third party application is saying I can guarantee for 2008, but I can't guarantee for 2014. So because your third party application is running fine, smooth, no problem, so you keep it as it is by installing it into a separate instance, the databases of that, and upgraded your applications, which your company's applications for in 2014 version. Suppose there is 2008 version. Okay, let's suppose there are 3 databases before. So what happened? One database was third party and 2 databases were of your company, and now your company decided to go for 2014. So what it will do, it will, but because of third party, okay, you want to maintain 2008 as well. So on the same machine you will install 2014. Okay, now this is a blank SQL server. Now you will migrate 2 and 3 from here to here. So now you have 2008 as well and 2014 as well on the same machine. Suppose there are two DBAs in your company, DBA1 and DBA2. They are handling the databases. They are handling the one server. Now what happens? One DBA did some mistake and he is saying DBA2 has done. So conflict situation can happen. Suppose this guy has done a mistake but he is blaming this guy. To avoid this kind of blame game, what you have done, you have made 2 instances. So what happens? Suppose this is handling your this instance is for data warehousing, and these are separate applications. So DBA1 is handling that instance, and DBA2 is handling that instance. Both are separate engines. Okay, so if problem comes in this particular database, he is responsible. If problem come in this machine, he is responsible. So these are some reasons: third-party applications issues, version issues, language issues, and DBAs issues. Because of that, you need multiple instances on the same machine. Now instances are of 2 types. First is called default instance and another is called a named instance. When you install default instance on a machine, you do not provide any name to it. So no name is given to default instance, but in named instance you provide some name to it. For example, I have a computer, say machine. So this is my local machine. In my local machine, I have one default instance and I have a named instance called test. So through SSMS, I can connect to both the instances. So for example, through SSMS, you are connecting to default instance of your local machine. Then there are multiple ways to connect. So you will type server name as name of the computer, or you can type localhost, or you can type local or you can put dot. So there are multiple ways to connect. But if it is a named instance, then server name will be, let's suppose my named instance name is test. So my server name will be computer name slash test or local host slash test or local slash test or dot slash test. Now if I go to start, I will type SQL Server Configuration Manager. Now here if you observe, there are two SQL Server instances. One is SQL Server MS SQL Server or SQL Server in bracket 1. So this is a named instance where in bracket you are watching 1. But this is a default instance. In every default instance you will see in bracket MS SQL Server. But in named instance you will see some name. So now I will tell you how you will be going to connect with SSMS. So what you will do, you will click on SQL Server Management Studio. I can type localhost here and click connect. So I am connected to my default instance. So these are the databases. Or what I can do, I can again hit connect and I can write the name of my machine. So this is the name of my machine which I have written over here, and I can hit connect. So it is same thing. Either you connect like this or you connect like these. Both are the default instances. Now I am telling you how you will be going to connect with the named instance. For that, if you go to database engine, after writing the computer name, just put slash and one, which is the name of the instance, and hit connect. So this time I am connected to instance 1, or there are many other ways, like you can put dot slash 1 as well and hit connect. So here you notice there are different databases which are appearing, and when you were connected with the default instance, let's say local, so you are getting different databases. Please click the like button if you find this video useful, and for more videos please subscribe my YouTube channel. LR.com also provides training in SQL Server technology as well as business intelligence technology. In LR.com you will also find blog posts as well. For more information, please visit www.lr.com. Thank you for watching this video.